What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel here. I had a really incredible opportunity here to work with the Hoyt company on their brand new release of their UAV. Every once in a while a board comes to market and showcases something incredibly unique. With the team over at Hoyt, they have handcrafted and created a unique design or a stain for every single complete deck, creating what I would call a movable work of art. This American-based company has done something which is incredibly hard to do these days, which is locally source and create stuff here in the United States. They are located in what I would call the second best Portland, because I grew up in Portland, Maine. Let's start off with the deck. The decks themselves are a work of art, and the colors and patterns that they choose from the team is absolutely incredible. Hoyt has sourced the bamboo decks from a company called Bamboo Revolution, located also in Portland, Oregon, the second best Portland. With these decks, they are steam pressed, not only the top part of the deck, but the bottom part of the enclosure, which incorporates all of the everything from the electric speed control, the battery, and all the other components inside of it. This allows the bamboo to be structurally rigid and allows for it ever so slightly flex to it, but not as flexible as your typical bamboo deck, and definitely nowhere near as stiff as your carbon boards are. But it's a perfect amount of balance in my opinion. The dual slight down drop deck gives you the carvability feel at mid to low speeds, and it gives you the comfort of safety of higher speeds being locked in. So with the tires and the wheels, totally custom CNC machine, locally sourced, along with the total custom tires that Hoyt themselves have crafted and had stamped out for their own particular molding, they have tested against car rating speeds. So what does that mean essentially? Car tires have different speed ratings. Different speed ratings allow them to be actually grippier at higher speeds, and not all tires are made the same. The same way that the Hoyt went with these ones, that they're able to be speed rated for much higher than they actually are tested for. So at 34, 35 miles per hour, this thing can actually go faster than that, allowing you to still have the comfortability and security knowing that this tire isn't going to be unbalanced or broken. We tested it with the 7-inch tires, which gave it the maximum comfortability and strong grip to the road in any of the conditions that we were riding in. The trucks are also locally CNC machined in the USA. They are a reverse kingpin setup with custom riptide bushings. This base platform has completely changed the way I feel about trucks. Really makes you feel locked in at higher speeds. It almost feels like that these trucks at the 30 mile an hour to 34 mile an hour just tighten up and give you that ability to not have speed wobbles at extreme speeds and still have that carvability from the 25 to 28 mile per hours. I felt myself in those 25 mile per hour range, still getting those deep, nice carves without any fear of slipping out or anything along those lines that way. The battery and range. All right, my favorite part. Take the spec sheet, open it up, throw it out. Literally doesn't mean anything that this is a 12S 4P battery with a Molicel P42As, just like in the Hurricane and just like in other batteries. This battery is handcrafted and meticulously built in-house by Duck Batteries. I wish I could convey through camera the feel of this board, and I'll get more into the motors and speed and stuff like that later on, but the battery itself, longevity-wise, being handcrafted and built in-house, having meticulous, rigid standards, allows you to know that your battery is going to be built with perfection and allows you to have the ability to know that longevity down the road. So you're going to get more charge cycles, you're going to have more ability out of it, and you're not going to fry up your entire ESC or anything along those lines that way inside of this thing. As for range, I have a 12S 4P. Stepping onto the Hoyt UAV, this thing was mind-blowing. The amount of power this thing was giving out and the amount of carvability and feel that these trucks and these tires and everything that came together was a completely different style than what I was used to. The range on the board, because I am a bigger guy, 220 pounds, that I actually got with the wind that we were riding in, with the speed that we were riding at on an average of 25 miles per hour in these windy conditions, it was absolutely incredible for me to get above 20 miles of range, which I did. We got 21.2 miles of range total. That is also on these 7-inch tires, but the fact that I was able to get almost 22 miles of range out of this board at those speeds, in those conditions, with my weight, really truly has me believing that I could even get more if I put a smaller tire on there or change up the gear ratio, whatever it may be. That being said as well, the battery supplied enough power that I was able to hit 35 miles per hour top end speed without any hesitation of fear that I was going to have any speed wobbles or anything like that, because the way the board was built. The handcrafted board, the CNC machined wheels, the CNC machined trucks with the riptides, it was just all came together. The package is completely built in a way that it allows you to feel comfortable at higher speeds and allows you to feel incredibly comfortable while carving and enjoying the ride. This now brings me to the motors. Because these ones are built from a military purpose company that makes unmanned drones that attack people, they take those and they put them on this board. Now, I can't explain it, but the amount of power coming out of these was completely different than what the same power was coming out of a motor that was off my Hurricane. It allowed me to go incredibly fast, quickly, safely, and then all day long, ripping up and down different speeds, doing a range test. These things were as cool to the touch as ever. On top of that, they were whisper quiet. I mean, I was able to crank this thing and I heard my friend who was riding in front of me, I heard his motors over the motors that were in front of me. I heard more road noise from the tires than I did anything else. Now, the reason why these ones are completely different than anything on the market, full stop. To break it down the most simplistic way possible, the precision magnets that are placed inside of here actually control and allow the magnetic field to flow in a different direction, forcing these magnets to be more efficient and these motors to be more powerful. Period, end of story. Let's just call it magic. What you also get with the board is the infamous Hoyt Puck. Coming from the Meatball Hurricane, coming from the smaller rubber kind of textured style, I wasn't used to the Hoyt Puck. I felt myself, the pinky was a little bit misplaced in my hand, but that being said, I did find it quite comfortable, and the grip tape on the side of it really did feel comfortable inside the hand. I was able to get used to it very quickly. I did actually even let a friend ride it who is a left-handed user, so with a simple double, triple click of one of the buttons, it allowed the operation to go from a right hand to a left hand, allowing him to feel comfortable riding it that way and using his thumb that way. So a really cool feature, and still being able to swap between the different hands. That's a nice feature that Hoyt definitely has been a leader in this technology. It does come with a 8 amp charger, which does charge the battery up incredibly quickly. My one gripe with the charger is, and like on other chargers that are out there, it has a built-in fan. Now, the fan was clicking on and off every 30 to 40 seconds, and typically that wouldn't upset anyone if it's in another room or whatever it is, but I charge mine directly next to me, but the audible noise coming from it was something that was, even my wife said to me, she was like, that is an absurd amount of noise coming out of there, but it's kind of what you get when you have an 8 amp charger. Another one of my favorite features that's on this board is the bash guard / handle. Hoyt has crafted this beautifully custom bash guard with their name and logo on the back here that allows you to simply slip your hand under with no sharp edges, no nothing, and it just grips and holds onto your hand as you pick this board up and walk around with it. I was just happening to ride through town. My wife was over there with my son, and as I was riding through town, I was able to stop, pick this board up, walk through a farmer's market with it behind me, and be able to easily carry this thing without having to like pick it up sideways or whatever it may be. So it was definitely a unique, nice feature in that sense, one that I really do appreciate. Cons. The board is not perfect. A few of my biggest gripes are actually small ones. The battery indicator on the front of the deck, while seems really cool and awesome in lower light situations, in direct sunlight, this thing is damn near impossible to see. I found myself holding my hand over the top of it to create a shadow just to see what that indicator level was, and honestly, when I was checking the indicator level, I wasn't even sure if that was the correct indicator level, because with the storm core inside of it, I was able to use the app, pull it up, and I don't know what the translation of the lights were comparatively to what was actually the battery percentage on the app was. So it seemed like that a pretty easy fix. You could swap out different colored lights, different colored LEDs. It is meticulously handcrafted. It blends directly into the board. It's not obscenely absurd, but if you are in a bright, direct sunlight situation, you're not going to be able to see it. The other gripe I have with this is I somehow got wheel bite. At the 7-inch tire with the tire treads on there at lower speeds, turning really sharply, I actually got the front wheel to hit the corner of the deck, which was something probably could have easily fixed if I just tightened up the riptide bushings on side there and made it a little bit sturdier. But it is something to note that at 220 pounds, at a really low carving speed, I was able to get that to rub on the front of the deck there. So who is the UAV for? Coming at the price point that it does, it is definitely a work of art that you can ride. I can't express that enough, that where I was riding around with it, I was getting heads turning, people were stopping me, asking about it. I haven't had a total random person that was riding by in a brand new Meepo V4S stop and compliment me on the board because he's never heard of it, looked it up right away, and was totally interested in the company. It's one of those things where you do separate yourself from the others, the carbon boards that are out there, the forged carbon boards that are out there, the other bamboo flex decks that are out there. It's definitely eye-catching, and it definitely separates itself from the others. With the range from 20 to 25 miles, you absolutely can take this board and ride around a city or cruise with your friends. The fact that I got 22 miles of range in the conditions they were riding at the speed we were riding at, really kind of blew my mind. it really goes to show that the battery efficiency and the motor efficiency is top notch, and they are definitely worth the price of admission because they are unlike any other board that's on the market. So if you are in the market for this board, it is $3,499. There is a discount code for the first 10 people who do buy it, and it drops off $500 off the board. So $2,999 shipped to your door and no tax because it's based in Portland, Oregon, second best Portland. It definitely puts itself in the upper echelons of boards these days. Well guys, I hope you like this review. If you stuck around this long, please think about subscribing, liking, leaving a comment down the channel. I love chatting with you guys down there. I'm pretty good at answering questions really quickly. And I hope you enjoy this video. Hopefully I can make more like this with other companies and other boards, because I really do think that this community has been absolutely incredible. I've met some incredible people along the way, and I've gotten some awesome opportunities in the very short time that I've been here. So please, let's continue to grow this channel and support us and support the community. All right, until next time, see you guys then.